What's up, good people, all the saints, the ain'ts, and the in-betweens. It's Wednesday, August 30th, and it is 3:28 in the a.m. And I am reading Daily Reflections, which is the Alcoholics Anonymous reading. And I'm going to change it up a bit, as I do. And when I change it up, it's going to make a whole lot of sense to some people. It's entitled The Only Requirement. It says at one time, every AA group had many membership rules. Everybody was scared witless that something or somebody would capsize the boat. The total list was a mile long. If all those rules had been in effect everywhere, nobody could have possibly joined AA at all. Does that sound like your Christian faith walk? See, when you have all those rules, that's a legalistic approach to life. And, if you go back to the Old Testament, it's considered the law. And when you had a bunch of rules that nobody could possibly keep. See, some of us still have that legalism attached to us. We forget about grace. Now, that does not mean you get to abuse grace. Amen? Because some of us try that as well. Because we're people. We have an Adamic nature. And there are people who dispute that. Because one person sinned, that means I'm a sinner. If you believe the sins of the Father follow the Son, and, sin is exponential. Sin can be generational. Amen. If you think about the language today that we use, generational curses, guess what that is? Okay, you with me? So, church is a place of judgment. Absolutely. Because we're trying to keep the law. It's judgmental because it's legalistic. Amen. We've forgotten about grace. Or, again, we want grace for ourselves but can't extend it to others. Make sense now? The writer says, I'm grateful that the third tradition only requires of me a desire to stop drinking. Or, hey, for church folks, the tradition only requires for you to have faith and a desire to follow Jesus. Now, it doesn't say a half-hearted desire. If you think about Jesus gathering the disciples, he said, come follow me. Folks didn't go back home to their families. They didn't go home to pack. They didn't go tell people, hey, I'm going on a trip. They got up and followed. That moment of clarity. That moment of witness. That moment of testimony. See, but because of who we are, when folks say they've changed or the Lord has changed them, well, I just need to wait and see because you said that before. When they said it before, folks, they were making changes to please you. When they said it before, it was a form of manipulation based on who they were and what they wanted. Amen. If they say the Lord changed me, you don't even have to say anything. Like that song says, don't believe me? Just watch. The Lord and His Word does not come back empty. There are going to be fruits that show that a person has been changed. It is impossible to be in the presence of God and remain the same. You hearing me? get back to this. It says, I'm grateful that the third tradition only requires me to desire to stop drinking. I had been breaking promises for years. In the fellowship, I didn't have to make promises. I didn't have to concentrate. It only required my attending one meeting in a foggy condition to know I was home. It only requires that yes and that faith. You don't have to prove it to anybody. God's going to show it. It says, here, strangers hug me. It gets better, they said. One day at a time, you can do it. They were no longer strangers, but caring friends. I asked God to help me to reach out to people desiring sobriety and to please keep me grateful. I asked God for the desire to preach, teach, and speak His word. I asked God for the desire to let my first response be the correct response and to demonstrate His word. And every day that I show up to record, to speak of the goodness of God, you know that I'm grateful. Amen.